Thank you. Call to order the Dayton, Minnesota Park Commission meeting for January 2nd at 6:32. First order of business is to call the Pledge Allegiance. All rise. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next on the agenda is to approve our agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda?
There is one big change to the agenda. Paul Kangas won't be presenting tonight. He has been dealing with some family issues over Christmas, and now he's got COVID, so he's not in a position to be able to do his presentation tonight. So we'll have to reschedule that for the next meeting.
That is item D.
C.
C. Oh, okay. So we'll strike under the regular meeting C.
Yep.
With that said, is there a motion to accept the revised agenda?
I motion.
Thank you. In a second?
I'll second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda is our open forum. Anyone here that would like to participate in open forum can do so.
Step up. Come on up.
Good evening and Happy New Year to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, too.
Need to.
So I'm here, my name is Matthew and live at 1560 116th Avenue North, Brevin Trail. I come here today because I heard about the playground at the neighborhood park by Brevin Trail and Sundance Wood or Sundance something. I just have a few comments if you guys don't mind. So in previous conversation, I heard about support for multi-use court amenities, and personally, I kind of prefer pickleball. But if we can put in like tennis court together in the same space, so like other people can use the same space for different things, and even maybe like hopscotch, like for little kids, like they can jump around, in the same space.
Right.
And then reason I like pickleball is because like it's gain popularity and it can be used across ages and kind of like bring the community together and play together. Otherwise, it's kind of hard. Like, and I cannot really find other than I think it's River Hill. There are two of them over there. But sometimes I drive over there and there are people playing. But because especially reason for that is like everyone who like to play, they are kind of limited court, and there are only certain time like you want to play like during, in the evening time and it's kind of like everyone try to play at the same time. It's not like you're gonna go play during the day or something, like especially people who need to work. So it's kind of like I feel like we don't have enough court for pickleball or tennis. So that's one thing. And then the second thing I move on to is the trail connection. So I've been living there close to 3 or 4 years. And when we moved in there, we thought like they're gonna build a trail from Brevin Trail to Elk Creek Park. And it has been 3 years and there's nothing going on. But I noticed like there's a trail from Rush Creek Parkway and go up north through the, what is that? The overhead electric line.
Yeah.
So I think it's only maybe like between 500 or 1,000 feet between where it disconnect to our Bremen Trail.
Yep.
Once, I don't know if you guys can plan, like, if you build a park, you can connect the trail to,
That is-
because like, especially like some young kid, it's kind of hard to get from Bremen Trail to Elk Creek Park. So
I think that there will be a trail going underneath those power lines. That is the idea. With our trail plan, we try to connect all the developments together so you have one big connection. So
right.
I think that this will be part of that, but there is still two parts of the land to be donated to the city yet on the far end of that, on, well, the north end of it, the park there.
Okay.
So once those are in, then we can push that trail through.
Oh, okay. So we need to wait.
Yeah,
for the
it's a
parcel.
question of when those things get developed. You know, the city always does it with the help of a developer. It's the easiest and cheapest and quickest way of doing it. It just takes some time. And then the city doesn't have to buy the land. We have the land donated through the developer.
Oh, okay. So until they develop, they're not giving out the land.
Yeah.
Until then, that makes sense. And then another thing is like the idea of unique park amenities. I feel like some of the park is kind of like repeat. Like, I'm not saying that we don't want a playground. I mean, I feel like if there's a way like we design our park a little bit more unique, like, okay, if you want to do this, you will go to this park, or do different thing, go to a different park. Again, that's go back to like the limited space of pickleball or certain amenities that otherwise you need to drive around and you know, you have everything ready and then you drive around. Okay, you go here, there's no room to play. Either you wait or you drive around and find another place to play. Currently, we kind of go to Maple Grove to play pickleball because they have a lot over there. But if I just saying, like, if we can plan something a little bit more, we know, okay, I always gotta find some places to play pickleball. I can find places to ice skating ring in the winter time. Like, we know like where to go, rather than just driving around and find the amenities. I also heard that you guys mentioned about pavilion or some sort of space like people can gather around. I know, like, in our neighborhood there are some, I don't know if they're still doing that or not, but our neighborhood they organize some sort of yoga class in the Saturday or weekend morning for the ladies. So I feel like if we can build something for that, that would be great for communities as well. And then the last thing is, I don't know, I from the last meeting, I know they create like a survey for the neighborhood, for the Dayton master plan. So I feel like there's kind of like you can get a lot of more input, not just like me coming here and I suggest what I like, but then like everyone can chip in like what they like, and then you maybe that way like more fair to everyone in not just our neighborhood, in the Sundance Green and Sundance Wood as well. So because I feel like that's gonna be shared among. I know like the other two parcels hasn't developed, but I mean, until with that, we can get their input as well. So, yeah, that's all I have.
So the idea is definitely to encourage a neighbourhood meeting here. Once we had the plan sorted out, fortunately that was meant to be on the agenda tonight, but the designer is sick, so it's not going to happen. So we're going to have to push it back a little bit. But it'll be presented to the Park Commission first, and then I think we will have the neighbourhood meeting to discuss that and get your input at that stage. But I appreciate you coming in and giving your input now as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you
you
so
guys.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good information. Thank you
Yep.
very much.
Do I need to fill out?
Fill out the form for us, please.
Fill out the form.
Yeah, fill out the form for us, please.
Fill out the form.
Okay,
Doug,
yeah,
you missed the consent agenda. You have to go back and just do that.
no,
No, he did.
that's
Oh,
next
excellent.
on the
Chris said
agenda.
that he did.
Oh.
Huh?
We just finished open forum.
Yeah.
Now we're on to consent agenda.
Well, did you do the consent agenda first, or?
He asked for a
Nope,
motion.
that's
I don't
what
know
we're
if he
on
got
right
it.
now.
I remember him asking for a
We
motion.
approved the
with-
agenda,
Oh,
we
yeah.
didn't touch the
Thank
consent
you.
though.
There you go.
So,
So we'll go into the council update now?
No,
The
you need to
consent
do-
agenda up above.
We have to go back.
We approved
You
it,
skipped
but
that
then
one.
Oh, I see. I apologize.
Thank you.
So on the consent agenda is the approval of Park Commission meeting from December 5th of last year, way last year. Do I hear a motion to approve the consent agenda as written?
motion.
Thank you. Second?
I second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Thank you. Next on the agenda is our council update.
Yeah, happy,
And
oops, sorry, go ahead.
it's all yours.
Perfect, thank you. Just want to start with Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2024. So last month was kind of slow, the second half of the month, but the first half of the month, a sign ordinance was passed, and then the budget was passed. And then this year, well, I think we're still trying to get all of the commission chairs in twice a year. So once the beginning of the year and once mid-year. So you should be hearing from Zach about coming in and just talking about what'd you guys get done last year, what are your goals for this upcoming year, and what do you need from council? So that should come soon as well.
For the sign ordinance, that's signed in the right of way.
Yeah, signs in the right of way and balloons were banned.
Balloons are banned,
Yeah,
finally.
Finally, yeah.
I'm
The
guessing
giant balloons.
that would include like, signs for, like those A-frame signs, like for a pancake breakfast, or for like a movie in the park, or for like a running for council.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Unfortunately, it's an all or nothing. You can't ban based
I
on
understand,
content,
yep,
which
I understand.
stinks, but it was, yeah,
Yep, understood.
yeah.
Okay,
I will say
Anything
that
else?
I'll add to that, it is, all of our ordinances in the city require someone to complain about it.
Sure. And I guess follow up to that, is there such thing as a sign permit? I've heard of other cities, like for those big, we're having an event today. I've heard of getting a permit for that. Is that something that we have here in town?
I know the city's working on an event permit,
That might encapsulate.
and then I think we could include that as part of that. So
Sure.
I can
So
make
know,
sure
like
that gets to
the
Zach.
Lions Club, we have a couple of things that
Yeah.
stick up that might be problematic potentially.
Yeah, because now that we have an event center ordinance, we have to look at redoing
Sure.
I forget what it's called, large gathering.
Yeah, large assembly permit.
Thank you. That's what it was called before, so we have to redo that, and so as part of it, they're talking about doing like an event permit, and it's more of just letting the city know an event's going on.
Yeah.
So that way, if we get calls, we're like, yep, we know about that one, more than anything else.
What
But I
to
think
expect.
signs could be added to that as a, like, do we need a exception for this? So yeah, it's a good.
Sounds good.
so what is the position of the sign ordinance now?
No signs in the right of way.
Okay,
But, I mean, I'm being very overly,
Yeah.
like,
That's
clear, but that
essentially-
really is what it is.
That is
there-
what it
that's
is,
15
exactly that.
Feet from the road,
Depends on the property,
if there is a right of way.
if there is a right of way, yeah.
On my
But-
property, I'm gonna put a sign up.
Yeah, yeah,
Same.
10 to
Can't
15.
really see it.
Yeah, 10 to 15, usually it's 10 to 15 feet off the edge of the property. It's usually what it is. Yep,
well, 10 to 15 feet would be on somebody else's property, wouldn't it?
depends on the property.
Okay, we'll let it go. Thank you. Anything else there?
Nope, that's all I have. Thank you. Good feedback, John. Thank you.
Very good. We'll go on to our regular meeting and the park cleanliness regarding tobacco use.
Okay, good evening, Commissioners. This is a discussion item that was brought up from the previous meeting where Councillor Hendrickson was talking about tobacco usage and the cannabis ordinance that have been passed, and how we should deal with cigarette materials, wastage and that kind of stuff, how we want to deal with that, and generally park cleanliness with a focus on cigarette disposal. John Knutson had mentioned that it felt that it was a topic that commissioners could research and discuss at a future meeting, so I think that is where we're at to discuss that tonight.
Groovy. Yeah, I did some digging and hope to find some cool new receptacle that they're all just kind of the boring
Yeah.
smoker's pole. And I remember those things start on fire because they got a big bin of cigarettes in them.
Any made out of concrete?
I didn't see any, but I mean, probably make one. Probably wouldn't order one online at that point. But
You see those garbage cans that have like the smoker
insert
on
in
the
top.
top of
Yeah.
them? Yeah, because we have a lot of, I would say, lack of garbage cans in general in parks.
I know.
Agreed.
I know you and I have talked about this, so I know it's no surprise, but
yeah,
there might be a way to partner the two together and find a
Yeah.
solution that works for both.
yeah, those are kind of neat. The,
Yeah.
the little kitty litter in them or whatever on top.
Yeah.
of the stand.
Yeah.
And there's also the smaller ones that you'll see maybe right outside the door of like a building in a strip mall, and those are. And smaller is nice because it's less that's going to start on fire, but then it's more frequently that someone's emptying it or not emptying it, and then it becomes a
Yeah.
problem too. So I definitely get why they have those big smokers poles because they can go quite a while. But
Isn't that on your hit list?
On my hit list, garbage cans, yeah. I've sourced some recycling and garbage cans. Unfortunately, I couldn't find one.
Ones with ashtrays built in?
With the ashtray built in. So I've been searching a little bit myself there. The problem is with those smaller ones, they get filled up pretty quickly, and then, where does it end up? It ends up either going in the trash can and setting that on fire, or being stubbed out around the trash can. I did find some that have got a sand base in there, but again, you've got to clean the sand out of there as well. So I'm open to suggestions on this. I'm going to contact the people who are supplying our the recycling and garbage cans, see if they do have something that's not actually in their catalogue, because what he supplied me was all the things that were on state bid in the state of Minnesota. So there may be something else that they can do, but would be paying full price for it. But if it's something that's worth doing, I think it's worth taking a look at.
yeah, that'd be nice if it incorporates.
Have you reached out to like Champlin, Maple Grove, maybe some of the larger cities around us that already have solutions for this to see what they're doing?
I have not
Okay.
yet. I know that Champlin has got a new parks director coming in there, and I want to connect with him anyway. So that'll be a question I can bring up with him and try and find some other solutions out there.
Or maybe I don't know if the other cities have ordinances that even allow
Yeah.
smoking in the parks. I know some cities don't, so maybe it's not an issue for them because of their ordinance choices.
Yeah.
So this is just a personal preference thing, but I would like us to be able to find something that's contained and not just the kitty litter sitting on top, because then
When it
it
rains,
just, yeah, and it doesn't
Water.
look good, and we want our parks to look nice, and I don't want to walk through it and see it. Like, I would like it contained somehow.
Yeah, when that gets wet as well,
Yeah.
gets to be a pretty horrible mess.
Yeah. The other thing I was just going to mention is maybe we should think about putting in more signs at trail entrances and at the park entrances that are no litter signs. I don't know if that really will help or not, but I just have seen in other communities where they do allow the smoking, that even if they have, it seems like butts are everywhere. And if we can maybe just have an extra visual that says, please clean up after yourself, pick up litter, maybe it would help. I don't know. Just a thought.
That's the other guy's job. Anything else,
If
sir?
it's like a smaller, the bigger park, can we put those away from young kids, like, especially like kids area? Like
The problem is if we don't have them there, then the butts just go on the grass, and then the kids are playing in them. So it's like, I agree with what you're saying about not having them right on top, but it's kind of a double-edged sword, because then they're going to end up people just put them wherever they want to finish them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Without putting up a designated smoking area sign of sorts.
that's another thing.
I mean, if we discuss, is that an option? Do we want to have a? The problem with that is then you start bringing in.
Worms.
Well, then you start bringing in. Is it tobacco or marijuana? Is it
Well,
under
marijuana is
18.
banned.
Marijuana is banned in all public.
Marijuana is treated like alcohol in the parks, which
Okay.
is not allowed. Yep, correct.
What about like, we sell beer at parks during city events at times?
That's a fantastic question,
Okay.
and it's allowed because of the permitting process.
Okay.
Is what I was told.
That's
Yes.
enough said
That
there.
was already banned before.
Go ask for a
Yeah.
permit, see what happens, open that can of worms.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I just wonder what it would be like if
Yeah.
you do, once you put up that designate, because I don't know, do you live pretty close to the park right now? I used to live in Brooklyn Park behind Oak Grove Park, and that's where everyone went to go smoke, and not just cigarettes. And it was always an issue raising small kids right there. Brooklyn Park went through like having designated smoking areas, and then people like, oh, we can come smoke here. And then they were smoking other things, and there's
Right.
people under 18 smoking, and then it was a headache for the cops quite a bit. So I like the idea of a designated smoking area, but I don't know that it necessarily will get treated well by everybody.
Too many rules.
Yeah.
I think the enforcement part of that is going to be really tricky as well. I mean, if people walking through the park and they're not there, they're smoking, and you're going to have a cop patrolling every area of the park all the time to do it. So it's kind of a difficult thing to enforce. It's one of those things where you expect people to do the right thing. I know that's always over optimistic.
Yeah, very.
So I guess this is another idea. It's more just for cleanliness overall, not just about the tobacco. But have we ever considered having an adopt a park or adopt a trail program in Dayton to help,
No.
like,
sweet.
I think it'd be cool.
to help kind of? I don't know how about going about doing one, but
Or could it be a
but
community service
we
thing?
see those signs for streets, and so I was just thinking, well, could you incorporate it into parks and into trails and having like scout groups or families or whatever adopt a certain
think
area?
that some of these neighbourhoods are pretty much keyed in on that, and I think you would probably get a good response if we launched it through their neighbourhood Facebook page or something along those lines and encourage them to do that. I think it could be self-governed by those guys. I don't think it's anything that the city, we could lead it, but I don't know that we would monitor it that much. I mean, I think it would be down, it's kind of like the roads thing. When you adopt a highway thing, it's down to the individuals to do it.
I would say I think a big draw to that is getting your name on the sign, though. So if that's something we could provide,
We could
you
do a
get
sign
that
for it, yeah.
recognition,
Like the
you know,
adopt a
exactly,
highway
like the
thing.
adopt a
We could
highway, it's-
certainly do it that way.
Right, or even if you didn't have a sign at the place, because I know that costs money, if you had a page on your website.
Sure.
Where you can sign up or something, and then their name is on the city's website with which park or which trail.
I think, with the bigger parks, I think it's more than, a one-person thing. I think that if you would need a group to do that. Somewhere a 10-acre park is going to take a while to do that if
true.
we could do it. I think it's a neighborhood thing more than anything.
That's as I say, a lot of our parks are in neighborhoods. I think a lot of the newer neighborhoods have HOAs. I think the HOAs would jump on having their name on a
Yeah.
sign saying that our HOA takes care of us, even though it's a city park, so on and
Yeah.
so forth. Because I know like a lot of people confuse River Hills as River Hills is a River Hills neighborhood park, and it's not. It's a city park. Where Brayburn Trails Park is a Brayburn Trails Park. Like it even says it's a private park on it, right? So I think if we have public parks for the people doing that, like Rivers Bend and others, I think you've got a strong community in that area. That'd be more than, or Leathers has a strong community in that neighborhood. The neighbors willing to step up and just put, the Rivers Bend neighborhood homes or something like that on a sign. I think that's still, in my mind, I like the idea. It's a point of like pride. Like this is our park. We take care of it and we're proud of it. So keep it nice, because if we see you doing stuff, we're going to call you out, or we're the ones picking it up. Like, it's a two-edged sword, but I like it. I think it's a good idea, and I think the cost of the signs,
Yeah.
I'm always amazed at the cost of government signs, but that are minimal in the grand scheme of everything.
Oh, for sure.
They'll
Yeah.
be under the $100,000 Scott mark, so
I'm
we
not
should be
sure if I
okay.
can say that. I might have to make them out of plywood and
Some
paint it
nails?
by
Yeah,
hand, but,
yeah. So,
the
I like
signs
that
would be
idea.
easy.
Just don't put them in the right of way.
Issue, we've got, we tried to involve our residents in cleaning up the parks, and that's fallen off the wayside. We tried storm drain clean out program that has failed.
Well, there is an active one running. You can adopt a hydrant on the county's website, or a storm drain.
Okay,
Where do you do that at?
I think it's Hennepin County. I could find it here.
Okay.
I don't have storm drains on my block, but I
Well,
know
I'll
that
look it
I
up.
know
I
that
didn't realize
runs
they
in
had that.
Dayton.
That's-
Yeah.
okay.
John, if you find that, can you email the thing
Yeah.
to me as well, so
Yeah.
we can include that on the city website?
Definitely.
so that would be good. I mean, anything we can do to
Yeah.
try
I
to
think
get the streets cleaned up.
some of those issues were more of a volunteer type scenario rather than a neighbourhood taking responsibility for its own and pride for its own park. I think that might be a little bit of a difference here, the nuance that might make it more of a success.
Yep.
It's mn.adopt-drain.org.
Okay.
If you Google it, it's the first thing that comes up. Adopt a Drain program, first thing that comes up. I did not know that was a thing. Super cool.
There's a lot of work that could be done around that.
Mm-hmm.
Cleaning the streets. Throwing your grass clippings in the middle of the street is nothing unusual.
No.
Well, it's maybe a great time to bring up. We tried to put together, even us as a commission, going out, maybe doing park pickup day, and we were too close to the time, and people were going to be out of town. I think that'd be a good thing. Maybe not necessarily today, or maybe today we could discuss when a good time is, if it coincides with the city trash pickup day, or if we just coincide with Earth Day or Arbor Day, or some day that might not have crappy muddy weather. That's been a concern in the past, is you
Yeah.
want to get there when it thaws, but it's going to be muddy for a little bit.
We've been doing, for our neighborhood, we've been doing Earth Day the last few
Yeah.
years, and it's definitely be nicer if it was a little bit later in the year, because April's kind of like the new February, it feels like. It's dicey at best.
Yeah.
But it's worked pretty well. We just, you get everyone to show up on a Saturday afternoon or somewhere around Earth Day, and literally in 2 hours, the whole park's clean, and the woods are clean, and
Yeah.
all sorts of things are picked up. So I think you find there's a lot of volunteers, even if we could organize it park by park, via maybe the city Facebook page or something like that, where you have a sign up or something like that, and just kind of designate like, hey, on this Saturday it's official, go clean up your park day.
That's
And
why
just
I
plant
like
the seed out there and see how if people show up or not. And I mean, it doesn't cost us anything, and people can just go if they're like, well, I don't know if the neighbor's going to go, I probably should go. We have enough people now where even if we get 10 or 20 people to show up at each park, we get it cleaned up pretty quickly.
So I like the adopt a park with the sign, and then they can work at the city and pick a weekend. The city can bring out the little pokers and the bags, whatever, and safety gear, and then maybe a trailer to haul away all the crap, and then we can help with that to support that. I think that'd be kind of cool, because if they do them all the same day, it's going to be hard to get city to support it citywide. Does that make sense? Because we have to buy a lot more of the equipment to get it done. Or if we limit it to like one
Yeah,
park
just
a
like a
Saturday,
kit.
then it's a lot, and it's a kit that the city drops off at the a trailer that they pick up on Monday. The staff wouldn't even have to necessarily be there on the weekend.
Yeah, no.
They could do it all prep work on Friday, so no one has to work overtime or weekends. And if they limit it to one park a weekend, then they could really make it work. So I think it's a great idea. I like it.
I think that could definitely work. We've done similar things with road cleanup and around South Diamond Lake. There's a couple of people who go around there. South Diamond Lake cleanup people. They always do a cleanup around cleanup day, early May, and they'll just pick up the bags and then they'll haul them up here for cleanup day and just drop them off there. So we have had some success with those things. So I think if you do, just select a neighbourhood park to do it once, a weekend, and have an official day to do it, then I think that's the way to do it. That way it doesn't become a big commitment for everybody, It's just, let's do it this weekend.
Yeah, our neighborhood also do that last year. So whoever want to come, they just come to clean up the road or the street. Yeah. It's pretty good turnout. I think if the city advertise it on the Facebook or, as long as you guys promote it, I think people will do that.
Yeah, I think the key is the city has to endorse it.
Yeah, I think that we
And
can organise
promote
it. I think there'll be some coordination between the city and HOAs or the neighbourhoods I'm looking at you. Yeah, so I think that would be the key, and then we can promote it on our webpage and all that good stuff. But we would certainly support it with supplying equipment and stuff, and vests and gloves and bags and all that kind of stuff to make it happen.
Good.
I think you'll get a better turnout if it's just show up and everything will be provided. I think
Yeah.
you'll get a way better turnout than
For sure.
Yeah.
if it's like, hey, don't forget your bags and your gloves and like that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. I think it'll help a lot.
Good.
So,
Awesome.
Ashtrays. It's a great idea. We got way off topic, but it's a great idea.
Okay, are we done with the tobacco usage subject?
I guess that's where we started.
Yeah.
I guess what we're looking at is trying to get some different kind of receptacles for that. And then hopefully I can find some that are going to go with the trash and
Yeah.
so we can have it all picked up at the same time when they pick up the trash and recycling. That would be what I would prefer to do.
Do you have like a picture of what the bins are going to look like that you
Not
could
on
share
me.
out?
I don't have anything with me, but yes, I do.
Just,
I
like,
can email it to
Offline, yeah, we could look at
Yeah.
it and think, okay, that maybe it'll
Okay.
give us ideas of what kind of receptacle would go with it.
I think it'll be blue and plastic again.
Yeah.
you. Yeah, about 55 gallons. Big blue.
I'll use my
Prices
Couple
are
of
right.
handles cut in the top there.
Yep.
No lid
Big
on it.
rock in the bottom so it doesn't
Yeah,
blow
big rock
away.
in the bottom and some holes.
For
Drainage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
No,
good.
it can be a
Classic.
little bit more stylish. than
Dayton's
that.
colors, I guess. Whatever.
Okay. So, next on the agenda is that the PIP 24 presentation, and that's going to be delayed until next meeting, maybe?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to push for.
Okay.
Well, it will be the next meeting for sure.
Okay.
Notices and announcements. Next Park Commission meeting? I have just a quick question, if we could. The city of Maple Grove just passed their budget, and in that budget was money for a forester.
For what, sorry?
For a
Forester.
forester.
Oh, a forester, yeah, okay.
May I
And-
ask what that is?
Tree.
Pardon?
Tree expert.
A tree
A
expert,
tree
yeah.
expert.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I was just.
An arborist, also known as an
Yeah.
arborist.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's what I've known them as, yes.
Okay.
I had the same question you had.
I
It
know what an
wasn't just you.
arborist is, but I
Yeah.
didn't know what
Yeah,
a
it's a-
forester
it's a
was.
I was gonna say it's a Subaru, isn't it?
Yeah, but they're gonna distribute them throughout the entire city.
That's a big budget.
Yeah. But I guess the question is, they have a growing problem with buckthorn. We have a growing problem with buckthorn. I live across the river from, well, I live in Dayton, I do actually. But
Wow.
I live on the Mississippi River across from Cloquet Park. Now, Cloquet Park was stolen from us, I understand that, but
Oh,
it is overgrown more and more with buckthorn. What are we doing?
When was the last time you were down there, Doug?
Where? On the
Cloquet,
island?
Cloquet Park.
You're talking about the island or the park, Doug?
The island.
Okay. We've done work in Cloquet Park to
On
get rid.
buckthorn?
Yeah, on buckthorn. We mowed a bunch of it down around the trail there. There's still work to be done there, but we went through a brush hog and took care of all of that stuff around the outside where that wire fence is around there. The idea is to keep it down that way. I know unless you get at the roots, it's difficult to do, but you can stay on top of it by constant mowing. We do have some chemical that we want to put down on there as well to help, but it is something that we're aware of and starting to tackle as we get more people on staff and the equipment to manage that stuff.
Isn't that what a bunch of residents using goats for? We've seen some city
The
goats.
Park District were using
City
goats
goats.
for that, but they've since they started it, they have ceased to use that program. It wasn't as effective as they thought it was going to be.
I know we have a resident that's been using it for a few years now. They come and ask for a
Yeah.
variance.
Permit.
And
I
we
think
changed
some-
the permitting rules on that
Yeah.
to make it easier for them.
Yeah,
For
that's
that.
right. I
They've
think-
been seeing progress, but
Yeah.
this isn't instant. It's like you got to do it every year
Yeah.
to keep it back. But the
Yeah.
goats have been doing a really good job of like fighting it.
Yeah, they'll take care of quite a lot. I don't know that they, for some reason they didn't do what the Park District were expecting them to do. It was a good natural way of managing it, but
It's very rural.
yeah, very.
Rural feel.
Too many other things to eat.
It would be beneficial for something on the website to instruct, to work with the public on controlling buckthorn on your own property.
Yeah, we could
Whatever we
link,
can do.
the DNR has tons of info we could link to, and one thing I've seen other places do is maybe periodically throughout the year, or once a year, do a pickup where, I mean, that's hard because you got to police that they're actually giving you buckthorn, I guess, but you can put your buckthorn out and someone takes care of it for you, because that's one of the problems with getting rid of it, responsibly, if you care.
Well, we do have a drop-off.
Does the dump,
And
the dump
That's a good
does
question.
does the dump take the buckthorn?
Sure.
It does.
I would have thought they would.
I mean, they don't check what you have, and if they're chipping it all and it's smaller than like 1 inch or whatever, it should be fine.
Yeah, whatever we can do to inform our residents about buckthorn and how invasive it is would be beneficial.
I've got a question for you, Marty. Have we started working with the engineers to get quotes on the paths that are supposed to get built this upcoming spring?
The trails, yeah, they're working on those already.
Trails, thank you.
So yeah, we've come up against a potential conflict with. I only found out about this last week. Hennepin County are going to do some major alterations on Dayton River Road in the late 20s, so 2028, something like that. And if we were going to try and put some kind of a safe crossing over here at Balsam, that might interfere with their project, so I've got to do some coordination with them. But the other stuff we're working on with the county, and I'm working with Safe Routes to School as well to see if we can include them in it as well. So those projects are moving along, so you should see something before the council pretty soon here for approval of bids and specs.
Do we hear back from Elm Creek on partnering with us for the Mississippi Trail chunk of that along Dayton Road between North Diamond Lake and Colloquial Overlook Park there? That was part of the original plan anyway, so we were going to see if we could partner them to cover part of the cost.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything back from those guys yet. They're notoriously slow in getting back to us from time to time,
Okay.
But
I just want to make sure we're on track so we get it
Yeah.
late in the spring so we can use it this summer.
yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
Awesome.
That's the game plan anyway.
Weather permitting.
Say again?
Weather permitting.
Oh yeah, all that stuff, All the standard excuses are already in there.
Thank you.
Okay, is there anything else we need to discuss tonight? Our next meeting is February 6th. I will not be able to attend because I will be out of the country, so plan accordingly.
Going somewhere nice, too?
I'll be here.
You get the gavel.
I have to go down to the Bahamas.
Oh, somebody has to. It may as well be
Need somebody to carry your luggage for you?
No, but if you want to carry the keg, you can.
And the golf clubs?
Very good. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn our meeting tonight.
I motion.
Second?
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, safe travels.